The Legion Champion Consul. Chosen from the best blades of the Legion, a champion bears the honour of their chapter or company in battle. They are armed and armoured in the finest panoply of war. Their sworn task is to seek out the foe's mightiest warriors and slay them as an object lesson in the Imperium's superiority. For many years, the legions maintained cadres of battle psychers in their ranks, warriors who fused these esoteric powers with a Space Marine's superhuman physical power. There were many within the Imperium's hierarchy who were troubled by such dangerous and unstable potential, and after dark events in the Great Crusade's later era, such adepts were forbidden from the use of their arts and arcane lore. With the outbreak of the Horus Heresy, however, the traitors threw off such shackles quickly, and soon the loyalists were forced to revoke the ban in order to combat them. The Legion Master of Signals Consul. A vital link between those desperately fighting and support elements of the Legion in battle. The Master of Signal is a strategic and communications specialist capable of interpreting and directing the flow of battle around them, and calling in support strikes from distant batteries and orbiting vessels. The Legion Forgelord Consul. Masters of the machine and foundry, Forgelords are the most experienced and skillful of the Legion's tech marines. These warrior smiths are skilled battle leaders as much as they are artisans of war, and are often appointed to the command of the Legion detachments comprising largely of tanks and armoured vehicles or battle automata, as well as serving as stewards to a Legion's dreadnoughts. The Legion Primus MEDICAE Consul. High officers of the Legion Apothecarian. The Primus MEDICAE of a Legion hold the onerous duties of both ensuring the battle readiness and physical well-being of their battle brothers, an authority in which none but a Primarch or his chosen deputy can overrule them, and in preserving, at all costs, the gene seed of the Legion from loss or contamination, even that of their lives. The Legion Siegebreaker Consul. The wreckers of cities, the bringers down of fortress walls, and the shatterers of strongholds. Siegebreakers are officers of the Legion whose speciality is precisely applied destruction against strategic targets. Placed often in command of armoured spearhead assaults and frontline delivery artillery units, they prefer to closely observe their work rather than sit back behind the lines, and so are deadly efficient in adapting their forces' attack patterns from moment to moment. The Legion Chaplain Consul. The Chaplain Order, established towards the end of the Great Crusade, was intended to create a cadre of fearsome veteran warriors who would enforce a cohesion of doctrine and belief in the scattered and increasingly idiosyncratic legions far from terror. Theirs was a mortuary symbol of sacrifice, graven in the form of an ornate staff, mace or axe, the Crozius Arcanum, which served as both a badge of office and a deadly weapon. The Legion Vigilator Consul. Highly skilled as watchers and hunters among their brethren, operating often on their own or in command of reconnaissance detachments, Vigilators are the eyes of their legion on the ground, their wisdom paramount in scouting out the foe's disposition and strength and determining the best place to strike. Theirs also are the arts of sabotage and assassination, and while some legions are more inclined to such subtleties than others, all see their military value. The Legion MORITAT Consul, said by some to be no less than death incarnate, and by others to be dishonourable murderers with no place in the Imperium's order of battle. Moritats are lone killers, operating outside the Legion's usual command structures at the behest, or at least sufferance, of its high commanders. Regarded usually as dangerously unstable outcasts, perhaps created by some seldom exposed flaw of gene seed or indoctrination, they are also savage and proficient warriors, however, having become one with the act of killing, honing their superhuman reflexes to gun down the foe at close quarters to a preternatural degree. A Legion Consul Praevian is the keeper of the Legion's bound automata, those soulless machines sworn to the Legion's service and inducted into their ranks as honorary legionaries after decades of service. A practice that increased as the Horus Heresy inflicted an ever greater death toll on many Legion's ranks. Initiated into the rites of the Mechanicum to a lesser degree, these officers oversee the maintenance and programming of their charges and ensure that loyalty to the Legion and its traditions are enshrined in their core logic. On the field of battle, they march at the forefront of the inducted maniples, guiding them in the correct prosecution of war and acting as examples of true sons of the Legion. Often chosen from amongst the ranks of those veterans whose injuries have required extensive augmetic rebuild and left them ill-suited for other, more specialised roles, these warriors are often solitary individuals, given to brooding and keeping to the company of their iron brothers. It is rare in most legions for these warriors to advance higher up the chain of command, and some legions use the rank as a dumping ground for those deemed unfit for other duties, while others, most notably the Iron Hands and Salamanders, consider it an honour to serve with such unique avatars of the machine cult's craft. The Legion Delegatus Consul. A Legion Delegatus is a mid-ranking Legion officer, such as a Centurion, tasked with a specific mission by a Legion's high command and formally deputised to act in all matters with the full weight of their commander's authority. As such, they can mobilise the Legion's resources to the full, deploy its assets, and, if performing a mission of vital strategic worth, assemble a strike force of chosen warriors. The Legion Herald Consul. As the wars of the Horus Heresy spread to consume the galaxy, billions fought and died under the banners of warlords they had never seen or heard firsthand. And even among those such as the Legion's Astartes, near religious fervour became common for those artefacts touched by Primarch, Warmaster or Regent, and given to a chosen emissary as a sign of authority and favour. The Black Shields, having obscured their heraldry or cast aside former masters, were no different, their strange sigils or blackened flags becoming totems of destruction and the Forsworn.